Feel free to make your way to your mats and find your favorite position. So for some of you, you might be practicing breathing from a seated, upright, tall spine. And for others, you're going to lie down. I'll be teaching as much as I can without any props because I want to assume that not everyone has props in their home. But if you have things that you want to gather that you know will make your yoga class feel even more delicious, then please do. Like if you want to have a blanket nearby or a pillow for under your head or under your knees at the end, then gather those things before we begin. And as you settle in, just allow yourself to take that nice, deep breath. Allow your exhale to just settle you as you release. It's almost like you are going to allow yourself to sink back to your center. Purposely drawing your breath in through your heart space. Feeling it expand out to your fingers and toes with every exhale, deepening your connection to your center. The more centered we can be right now, the more resilience we'll have. The more centered we can be right now, the more adaptability we will be able to imagine. And this exhale moment, to me, just is the one thing that really feels over and over again like it brings you back to center. So allow yourself to unite mind, body, and spirit. Set an intention for this next hour to just invite breath into your body, knowing that when we remove the obstacles of stress and tension and gripping and bracing and fear and doubt and grief, that we allow prana, life force, to flow unrestricted through our bodies. And that's our goal of our movement today, to be able to unleash the power of this prana within us and allow it to just have this sweet backstage pass to every cell of our body. Knowing that this intelligence within us, it knows. So in all the places that we don't know, this intelligence knows, and it is in us, and it is available to us, and it is at and present in every breath. So if you are seated right now, allow yourself to recline down onto your mat. And from that reclined position, lift your arms straight up to the sky. Fingers point to the ceiling. Pull the shoulders up off the floor, and then set the shoulders back down onto the mat. I want you to feel like you draw the shoulder blades off the floor, reach higher to the sky, and then sink the fingers down into the arms down into the shoulders, shoulders down into the floor. There's a lift on the inhale, a release on the exhale. The rest of the body staying really settled. You're drawing the shoulder blades up and away from the spine. Yeah. And then draw your heels in closer to your bum. Heels come into the bum, fingers to the ceiling. This time, lift your hips and let the hands fall back towards the top of your mat. And then as you exhale, hips and hands drop back down to the floor. So there's a long breath in as the body opens up and the hands lift overhead, hips to the sky, hands come back down again. You're doing little bridge and just letting arms move with the little bridge. Press into the feet, let the hips rise on the inhale, the hands move back with you. Both hips and hands land at the end of your exhale. You're inviting breath all the way through the front line of your body. And then put those hands back down on the mat, heels back down on the mat. Nice work. Your right knee can pull into your chest. Let the fingers just clasp the top of that shin and pull the knee in towards chest. I want you to squeeze your toes and spread them wide a few times. Yeah, and then point and flex those toes. Roll the ankle. Both directions. Reach the heel all the way up to the ceiling and pull the toes down towards you. Yeah, there's a little bit of a stretch there. Can you turn the leg in space? Nice. Drop the heel down onto your left thigh. And then really slowly draw the left foot up off the floor. Just hang out there, softening the neck and shoulders. Drawing the apparatus of your legs closer to your chest, feeling the stretch in through the right hip. Yeah. And then set that foot back down. The left foot sets down, the right foot lifts to sky and drops down. Deep breath, we draw the left knee into the chest. And just take a moment here, squeezing the toes, spreading them wide, squeezing them, spreading them wide. Point and flex the foot and then roll the ankle right and left. Stretch the heel right up to the sky and then just do rotations. Nice. Externally rotate the thigh and drop it down, the heel down onto the right leg. Good. Shoulders soft, neck relaxed. Lift the right foot off the floor. Draw those folded legs in towards your chest. You're just going to take some breaths here, allowing the shoulders to settle, the neck to relax. Feel the nice stretch in through your left hip. Breathe. Yeah. And the right foot can settle to the floor. The left heel can stretch to the sky and it can draw back down onto the floor. Sweet work. So now let both knees come in towards the chest. Hang on and allow yourself to do just rolls on the back body. So you can roll right and left. You can roll head to tail. Whatever you do, let yourself do 5 or 6 of them before you bring yourself up to a seated position. And when you get yourself to a seated position, just choose something that works. Choose something that is comfortable for you. If you do have props and you want to put something under your bum, please do. It'll make it that much more comfortable. Sit bones ground, crown of your head lifts. Let your shoulders just shrug right up to your ears and then roll them down your back. Yeah, nice work. Do that again. Shoulders shrug to ears, roll them down your back. Take your chin and reach it across to each shoulder, allowing your breath to just start to move through your body more freely. Chin comes back to center, nod your head, chin drops down towards chest and up to ceiling. Yeah. When chin comes back to neutral, drop right ear to right shoulder. Yeah. Take your left hand and just reach it out beside you. Nice. Inhale and come up. Left ear to left shoulder, right hand stretches out beside you. Breathe into the side of the neck. So good. Nice. Inhale the arms all the way up to the sky and exhale them down again. Start to really find your breath here. There's a beautiful sweeping inhale as hands go to sky. And there's a long exhale as hands drop back down to the floor. Breathe in and out. And in and out. Yeah, beautiful. Let's do some side bends. The right hand can stay connected. The left arm can come up and over. And then breathe in and go the other way. Breathe in and the other way. Breathe in and the other way. Yeah. Allowing yourself to just sweep side to side there. All the way up, and those arms rest down. Nice. Little bit of a twist now. Just inhale your arms up, and then take the right hand back behind you. Bring the left hand to the knee. Tall spine, and just roll to the right. Every breath in, feel like you lengthen through the crown of your head, and every breath out, just allow yourself to turn gently, sliding into that twist. Stay in a spot where you are not twisting the breath right out of your body. And then inhale up, let's go to the other side. Key thing is to allow our spine to remember all of its directions of motion, all of the ways that it's capable of moving. Yeah. Nice. And then come back to center. From this spot now, change to being on your hands and knees. So you'll come to knees down, hands spread wide. If there's any discomfort in your wrists, you're feeling free to be on your fists instead, and then come to your cat and cow. Lifting your head and tailbone, arching your back. You're moving back and forth with just smoothness of breath. Feeling your spine find as much mobility as it can. Noticing movement between each and every vertebrae as much as your awareness will allow. We'll do a side plank here, so your left hand, left knee can stay connected. Reaching your right foot back behind you, lift the top arm to your hip or to the sky, and then choose what you might do with that extended right leg. It can stay on the floor or it can lift. Breathe here. Yeah. Nice work. Your hand comes down, your knee comes down. Let's go and do that on the same on the other side. Lifting that top hand to the hips or to the sky. Choosing what you do with that extended leg. Breathe there. Exhale and allow yourselves to come back down to hands and knees. Now reach your left hand underneath the armpit. And then remember the lawnmower pull where you stretch. Imagine you're pulling a lawnmower to start and your elbow reaches up to the sky. So the deep breath in and out as you reach and pull back. Sweet twist of the spine. Good loading of that front grounding arm. Nice. You're flowing with your breath. Last one. And then release and allow yourself to come to the other side. Reaching right arm underneath left armpit. Imagining the handle of that lawnmower. Pulling the elbow up to the sky and stretching back under again. Back and forth. Sweet twist in the upper back. Nice smooth movement through the shoulders. And your breath anchoring it all. Yeah. Nice work. Bring those hands down and slide yourself back to a child's pose. Dropping your heels down, your hips down towards your heels. Sliding your hands forward, dropping the head onto the floor. Just relax the elbows wide, let the forearms ground, and take some breath. Plant hands nice and strong. Come up to hands and knees. Allow the back toes to curl under. With those back toes curled under, hands pressing into the ground, just begin to push. Push the bum up to the sky. Let the head shake between the elbows. Allow your heels to one at a time paddle down towards the floor. Breathe. 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 Your gaze goes to your thumbs. Your knees can bend. Let's bend the knees deeply and then walk feet forward to the hands. Nice. Tabletop your back. So hands come to shins. Lengthen and lift the spine parallel to the floor. Do a little shoulder roll backwards. Stretch through the crown. Breathe. Yeah. Deep bend into your knees and then inhale your hands up to sky. Dropping your palms right back down to your heart. 3 more. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, hands to sky. And exhale to heart. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Sweet. Breathe in. And breathe out. As the hands settle to your heart, take a step back with your right heel. Push it down into the floor and your left knee bends. Good work. Those hands can inhale up to the sky. Draw the shoulders back down. Fingers reach up. Breathe here. Stretch that front knee forward. Push the back heel down into the mat. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now open your elbows wide. And then begin to just lift your chest ever so slightly. Eyes come up towards the ceiling. Tiny back bend here. Notice your breath. Can you invite a deep breath into this little back bend? Good. Hands come to heart. Feel your spine just neutralizing again. Straighten your front leg. And then stretch the whole spine in a long straight line over that front leg. Remember to let your chin draw back in again. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Spine is long and straight. Beautiful. Reach there. Drop hands to front shin. And the left palm rolls into the low back. The crown of your head stretches forward. The front body lengthens. Lift the top shoulder. Rolling it open. Yeah. Feel a stretch through the crown, a push through the sit bones. Open the top shoulder. Breathe there. And then soften everything back down. The hands can come to the front shin. Take a nice deep breath, lifting up, rolling the right hand back behind you. Yeah, almost ready for triangle. The toes, right toes point to the long edge of your mat, left toes point to the front, and then kick your hips to the side. Stretch as far as you can. Reach, 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 and when you can't go any further, just tip your hands. Yeah. Keep the side body long. Keep the legs straight, not locked. Reach through that top hand, stretch through the bottom. Breathe deep breaths as you find your wingspan here. Firm press into the feet. We drop everything back to center. Hands fall to hips. Sweet. Both sets of toes point forward. Inhale your hands up. And as you exhale them, bring them to your heart and do a nice forward fold. So lift the chest, fold as you poke your bum back behind you. Poke your bum back behind you. Your hands can come to your legs. For some of you, your hands can come to the floor. Our feet aren't very far apart right now. They're still just triangle distance. So perhaps your hands will not make it all the way to the floor. No problem. Good. Just breathe into the backs of the legs there. Relax your chin, drape the neck off the end of the spine. And then press hands into the shins, long, flat back. Bend into the knees. Inhale, fingers to sky. And drop your hands to your heart. Step to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, your left foot steps back behind you. Sink into that heel and draw into that front knee. Next inhale, let the fingers float out to the sky. Really draw your shoulders down your back. Let the arm bones sink into the shoulder sockets. Breathe deep here. Back heel pressing into the floor. Reach your front knee forward. Breathe. And then allow your elbows to pull down, opening wide to your sides. Let the chest lift and your gaze float upward. This taxes your breath. So stay in a back bend where your breath still feels like it can flow. In and out. Nice work. Hands come to heart. Feel your spine neutralize. Straighten your front leg. Lengthen through the spine. Find good distance between the hips and the top of your head. And as you fold forward, long, flat back. Long, straight line. Let the chin tuck, the back of your neck lengthen. So much balancing here, so much strength down through the legs. That's good. Hands drop to the front leg. Right palm rolls up into the low back. Spine lengthens one more time. Gentle lift of the shoulder. Breathe. Yeah, this is reverse triangle. Good work. Slow, smooth breath, strong legs, long spine, pulling the ribs away from the belly. Yes. Nice. Soften your fingers back down. And then inhale, come up. The left hand is going to sweep around. Fingers stretch. Right toes to the front of edge of your mat. Left toes point to the long. And stretch your hips out to the side. Reaching through those fingers. Stretching long. Nice work. And then drop the bottom fingers down, lift the top hands to the sky, triangle pose. Long, long flat back. Yeah. Firm press into the feet, lengthen through the fingers. Find your wingspan. Beautiful. Press firm, inhale, let yourself come all the way up and sweep your hands behind your back. Pull the thumbs down. Hands are clasped together, thumbs are pulling down. Your shoulders are rolling down your back. Crown of your head is tall. Yeah, as you fold forward, the whole body hinges. Gently. Check if your chin is lifted, let it relax. Feel the length of the back of your neck. If you get to a point that you want to test lifting thumbs away from the low back, just check a couple things. See how far you can lift before the ribs kind of capsize into the hips. And then if you want to fold forward, allow those ribs to capsize into the hips. But just notice, how far can my arms go before the fold at the rib cage happens? Beautiful. Take 2 more breaths. Thumbs release back down. Spine lengthens long. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands release to your hips. Heel step your feet back together and come to the front edge of your mat. Nice. Taking a nice long breath here. Your shoulders lift to sky. Roll down your back. Palms can drop down beside you. Breathe. Inhale those fingers all the way up to the sky and allow yourself to exhale and fold forward. Sweet. Lengthen, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Beautiful. Exhale, let the fingers drop towards the floor. Sweet lift of the fingers all the way to the sky and allow them to drop to your heart. Nice work. Then taking the right foot for a big step back, or how about you just turn so that you're facing the camera, whatever way that is, okay? Once you've turned so that you're facing the camera, let's take our right foot and turn it open to the end of the mat, and then let the right knee bend. Good. So what I want you to do is go back and forth a couple times. Notice how far you can reach with that right knee. And if your right knee, when you look down, passes that 90-degree point and goes out over your toes, could you widen your stance? If when you're doing it, the knee doesn't come as far as the ankle, can you shorten your stance? So find the spot where the knee reaches and the shin is at 90 degrees. Now find a tall spine so that the tailbone points to the floor and the crown of your head points to the sky. Shoulders roll down your back. Inhale, your arms open, warrior 2. Good. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, palms down. Sweet roll of palms up. Press the pinky toe sides of your feet down into the floor as your palms roll with your breath. Just ground the 4 corners of the feet into the floor. Breathe in and out. And breathe in and breathe out. Good work. So roll the palms up. Let's take the back hand, drop it to the leg. Open these front fingers up to the sky. Good. Sink down deep into that front knee. Open up through the side body here. Breathe. Breathe. Deep breaths into the right rib cage. Inhale, come all the way up, your arms open. Let's straighten that front leg. So good, so good. Bend the front knee again. Yes. Now reach through the right fingers as far as you can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Eventually draw the elbow down onto the knee and take this top hand to the sky and then overhead. Your goal is to let your body look like a long straight line from your wrist all the way to your ankle. Yep. Here's the hard part. Do you feel how much weight is grounding down into your right elbow? Can you press into the feet? Can you let that elbow start to be free? Perhaps it drops down to the floor. Perhaps that top hand lifts to the sky. Breathe here. Front leg's dying. It's doing a ton of work. Beautiful. 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 Inhale up. Keep the legs bent. Keep the legs bent. Keep the legs bent. Yes. Straighten the front leg. Hands release down to hips. Both sets of toes point forward. Wide leg stance now. Inhale, hands up. Big, deep forward fold. Maybe your hands land on your legs, maybe on the floor. Breathe. Drop your chin. Hang the back of your head heavy. Bend into your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, let the hands drop back down to the heart. Good work. Okay, you ready? We're gonna go to the other side. So left toes point out to the long edge or the short edge of your mat. Okay, same deal with that knee. Play around with it. How can we figure out where that knee needs to be? It needs to be at 90 degrees. So we're widening or shortening our stance to be able to find that 90 degrees. Yeah. Shoulders roll down the back, tailbone to crown of the head is totally a vertical line. Arms float up. Beautiful. Palms up, palms down. Palms up and down. Nice work. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. Beautiful. Inhales up and down. Sweet. And up and down. Nice. All right. Take the back hand, drop it to your back leg. Lift the front fingers up to the sky. Side bend. So this is a lateral side movement. You're pressing your air into your left lung. You're opening up through those intercostal muscles between the ribs. Breathe. 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 Beautiful. Inhale, coming up. Now let's straighten the front leg for just a moment. Nice work. Bend into it again. Stretch through those left fingers. Reach, reach, reach. When you can't go any further, allow that elbow to sweep down. Perhaps the hand, perhaps the elbow is grounding. Top arm goes to sky. If the shoulder allows, it's a long, straight line. The length between the ankle and the wrist is just absolutely flat. Well, as flat as we can imagine it is. Good. Breathe here. Breathe here. Good. Okay. This is our hardest part. How much do you have to fortify and strengthen the legs? How much do you have to bring control and engagement into the core to be able to let that elbow float free? Let that hand float free. Breathe. Huge burn into that thigh. Good work. Good work. Press, leaving yourself in warrior two legs. Yes. So good. Straighten that leg. Feels so nice to straighten. Hands released to the hips. One more. Sweep those shoulders around your back. Clasp the fingers. Pull the hands down towards the tailbone. One more forward fold. Yes, you go down. Okay, before you go, can you measure the distance between your ribs and your hips? As you fold forward, don't let the ribs come in towards the hips at all. Yeah. Stretch through the crown. Keep the ribs pulled away from the hips. Keep the stomach long. Yes. Breathe here. If you need to drop into bent knees at all, you go ahead. You can play back and forth, bending one knee at a time. You can just put a little crack behind those knees. Breathe nice. The other place you don't want to feel a pinch is right at the sit bones, right where your hamstring tendons touch the sit bones. We don't want to pull those hamstring tendons. Those guys take a long time to heal, so be gentle here. Relax your chin, traction your head, let it fall off the end of your spine. Breathe. Bend into the knees, inhale, and slide yourself all the way up. Take 2 breaths here. We'll release our hands. And we'll heel step our feet back together. Feet hip width apart. Let yourself just find Tadasana. Shoulders rolled down the back. Palms dropped down, facing forward, chin relaxed, back of your neck long. Notice the soles of the feet connected into the floor. Notice the strength of your legs, the tall spine, the way your rib cage and shoulders just sort of drape and rest on the strength and balance the foundation of that spine. Yeah. Good. Hands come to heart and your feet can come together. We're going to imagine that we slide our backs down the wall. If you're close to a wall and you want to back up into one and allow your back to actually literally slide down a wall, then go ahead. You're thinking of your knees and thighs kind of glued together, especially your thighs. Think of those thighs gluing together and sliding down the wall. Can you feel your belly muscles turn on? That'd be good. Yeah. Thumbs check the bottom rib, fingers touch the hip bone. Yeah. Don't go so far as you want to slide down a wall. So as soon as this happens, as soon as your bum pokes back behind you, you've gone too far. As soon as you're leaning forward, you've gone too far. So let yourself just go like that far. Yeah. Thumbs checking that the ribs aren't flared, right? Hip, fingers touching hips, and then draw those arms up. Stop as soon as the arms are making the back bend. So as long as your back can stay straight, you can continue to lift those arms. Breathe. Let your body weight sink into the ankles and calves and thighs. You'll feel your quads work really hard here. Breathe. Breathe, breathe. If you need adjustments at all here, just drop your arms a little bit, or perhaps you'll sit a little bit taller. Two more breaths. Good. Inhale, hands come all the way up to the sky, stand tall. Exhale, reach those arms down beside you. Nice work. Hands to hips. So your hands are on your waist. They're actually touching the bones of your pelvis, because as we go into this next tree pose, your pelvis is going to stay in neutral. So kind of the same deal. We don't want to do a tree pose with our bum poking out behind us. We don't want to do a tree with the pelvis flared forward. So neutral. Your hands are there to help you know if you shift out of neutral. Now slide your back down. No, let's not slide our back down. Imagine your wall. Okay, right heel begins to rise. Left heel stays connected to the floor. Now check your neck and shoulders. Relax them. Roll onto the ball of that foot. Come onto the tippy toe. Let the knee rise in front of you. Allow that knee to open out to the side. Watch what happens. So I can be really tall here, and as I try and open too far, sometimes this hip kicks out to the side. So notice how far can you open without that hip kicking out. Then put the foot on the inside of the left leg, above the knee, below the knee, ankle or toe on floor. You find what works for you. Roll the shoulders down your back. Choose your arm position. You can have hands at heart. You can have hands open to the side. Keep your gaze steady and your breath fluid. Tall and strong. If you can see out a window, you can see floating snowflakes here in Cochrane. The wind seems still, down in the valley anyway. Beautiful. And then release the hands, release the foot, plant it onto the ground. Nice, you'll want to just sort of wiggle hips a little bit here. Getting ready, our feet come together. Plant into the right foot and begin to lift the left heel. Yeah, nice work. You're coming onto the ball of the foot, rolling onto the toes. Yeah. The knee floats up in front of you and then opens to the side. Remember that it opens without flaring the right hip. Yeah. And then lift the heel up to press on the inside of the right leg. Choose where you need to stay there. The foot can slide anywhere it needs to be along that right leg. And then when balance of the legs feels available, choose your arm. So remember, down by the sides, hands at heart, cactus arms. Choose whatever feels good for you today. Breathe. Slow, steady breath. Feel the strength just waking up in your body today. Feel the breath moving with more freedom. Feel how your movement has uncoiled tension and dissipated stress. You've really opened up the potentiality of today by letting prana move with a little bit more freedom. I don't think there's a day that goes by where a day that starts with yoga we ever regret it. We ever say, you know, that was a waste of my time. I shouldn't have done yoga today. Letting your hands release, feet come to the floor. Again, you're just going to spend a moment finding that release through the hips. Good work. Good work. Okay. Feet come together, hands release. Let's turn to face the front edge of your mat, so wherever that is. Inhale, your hands come all the way up to the sky. Exhale into a deep forward fold. Plant your hands onto your shins, take a nice long lift of the spine, and then exhale, put those fingers on the floor. Step back with each foot. You're in plank pose now. Push through the heels, reach through the crown of your head. Yeah, super slowly release yourself to the floor. You can be on your knees here, you can stay on your toes. When your belly lands, your hips, belly, chest, and chin all touch the floor. Hands beside shoulders, roll the shoulders down your back. Let your elbows come towards your hips. Now lift your right leg up, pull it out of your hip socket, set it down. Lift the left leg up, pull it out of the hip socket, set it down. Gaze to the floor. Keep your nose pointing to the mat. Hands soft so you can feel them beside your shoulders but not pressing. As you inhale, you'll lift, and as you exhale, you'll come down. Hello. Inhale, you'll lift. Exhale, you'll come down. Just move back and forth in that sweet movement. Hello. Long and smooth. This is my cat, Indy. Clearly finished her nap. Hello. Okay, all the way down, and then curl your toes under, press yourself up to hands and knees. So good. When you get to hands and knees, can you do a little bit of cat-cow for me again? Now choose if you would like to do a downward dog right now or even a full sun salutation. You choose. The other option is to let your toes touch together and sink yourself into whatever version of child's pose you want to do today. Just let yourself sink into a child's pose or do a full sun salutation, taking a few breaths. Long, smooth breath. Breathe. And when that sun salutation, when that child's pose feels complete, draw yourself back up to hands and knees. Hands and knees can ground down onto the floor. Your feet can move over to one side. Let the bum plant and the legs stretch straight out in front of you. And as the legs stretch straight out in front of you, Remember that you can always find length in the spine by just bending the knees a little bit. So if there's any reason it feels like you need to give your spine a little bit more movement, a little bit more length, then feel free. I'm just gonna give you guys a better view. Yeah. Bending knees, the spine can be tall, straightening legs. Be careful of this. Good. Inhale, hands come all the way up, and we stretch towards the toes. Inhale, hands up. Stretch towards the toes. One more time. Towards the toes. Coming all the way up and letting your hands reach down beside you. So I'm only moving so that you can see me better. You guys can stay where you are on your mats. Hands drop down onto the floor behind you. Feet come here. Just begin to let your knees open and close. You might move the mat now so that you can see me more clearly where I am. Okay, there we go. Knees open and close, but the hips aren't moving, right? You know where we're going here. And then I want you to take knees, rocking them windshield wiper style, both going the same direction, right and left. Good. Yeah. Okay, so knees fall right, come up to center, knees fall left. Good. Knees fall right, knees fall left. You're beginning to let your bum lift up and off the floor every time you go to the opposite side. Yeah. Good. So next time you let the knees fall right, then let your left hand come with you and reach. Come back to center, let the knees fall left, and right hand reaches. Yeah. Reach. 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 Good. One more. This time when we reach with the right hand, slide both hands away from you, come down to forearms. Some of you will stack your fists and let the head rest down. Some of you will feel like you can come lower, and some of you will feel like this is the best position. That back leg, the top leg can stretch back behind you too if it's comfortable. Breathe. So you're allowing yourself to just release into any version of this twist. And then walk up. Other side. So we let the knees come back to center. We drop them to the other side. Right hand takes a big sweep. Palms ground. Letting yourself come down or stay up. Whatever feels best in your body. Inhale. And allow yourself to come up. Knees come to center. Good. So from here, just allow yourself to slide back down onto your back. Feet come onto the floor, head rests. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's do some mini twists for our spine here before we settle it. Hands to ceiling, wrap. And then elbows fall right, knees fall left. Back and forth. Breathing. Gentle sway, right and left, right and left. And then come back to center. When you come back to center, just let your legs fall into the most comfortable position for you, for Shavasana. Allow yourself to gather any props that you may want. Sink into a pose of stillness. It can be reclined on your back or it can be seated. It's a long, slow breath here. You're going to just take a moment to make any movements that you need to make. And then find stillness. Allowing your awareness to just scan through your body. Becoming aware of the free movement of prana. The beautiful in and out flow of that life force within you. How you participated in assisting it today. How your active movement and fluid breath sought to release and unrestrict anything that required it. So that your best efforts today were in support of your whole being. Now just the sensation of that prana moving through your body. It's like a current. There's an energy. There's an expansion and a contraction. And just notice that even as the contraction of the exhale happens, even as the diaphragm pushes air from your lungs, even as it releases every last bit of air that is sustaining you, another breath will come. Our whole body in this absolute dance of trust that we let go and we receive. We let go and we receive. We exhale and we inhale. Could we perhaps just extend that idea to our whole world right now? Knowing that in this retraction, in this contraction that we are feeling, the expansion is coming. Trust in that. Sweet exhale. Sweet inhale. And if your mind is distracted and begins to wander somewhere, then just draw it back as soon as you become aware that it's wandered, which it will, just draw it back to your breath. And scan your physical body and notice the effects of your practice today. And scan your mental body and notice if this breath body practice supported you today. And drop down into that heart space, checking in. And just feel the community that you have tapped into, regardless of our physical distance from each other. Just feel the community that we have allowed ourselves to create today. So sweet. So gently bringing movement back to your fingers and toes. Oh, I like being able to see little toes wiggle in videos. And long, smooth breaths as you allow stretch to come back in. And then bring yourself right back up to seated. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. For those of you I can see, I appreciate it. Namaste, everyone. Hi, Miss Carol. Yeah.